What's up, YouTube? Hope everybody is doing well. So this is going to be another episode on Gabe's journey with autism. So this week I'm going to change it up a little bit. But first off, I'd like to say Happy Autism Awareness Day. So this whole month is Autism Awareness Month, but today specifically is Autism Awareness Day. And so in light of that, I am making this video. And so this video is going to be a little bit different. Right now, Mama and Gabe are sleeping. They're doing a little nap time. And I'm just going to talk about my reaction when I first found out that Gabe could potentially be autistic. I feel like this is important because what ends up happening is when you're a parent and you find out that your child may potentially be autistic, you kind of go through these emotions, you kind of go through this path, and I wanted to make a video to basically say that it's okay. So let's just kind of dive right into it. My first reaction when we first suspected it, we were going to his checkup. It was about a year and a half checkup, and we walked in and there was this list kind of talking about, hey, is your child doing this cognitively? Are they doing this physically? Are they doing this this and that? And so while we're going down this list, we noticed we were not able to check off a lot of the criterias. We were just kind of saying, does he really do this? No, he doesn't do that. Does he do this? No, he doesn't do this next. So when we actually met up with this pediatrician, she did seem kind of concerned, and so she talked about, hey, well, let's just go ahead and let him see a child psychiatrist or psychologist, and we're just going to go ahead and get him screened for potential autism. So when we left that appointment, I remember getting in the car and just feeling sad. I was very, very sad, and I was like, oh man, could my little man be potentially autistic? And so we ended up going home, and almost immediately, Mom and I just dove onto the internet. We just kind of grabbed anything we could. We literally just saturated ourselves with what is autism, what are the signs of it, what are the symptoms, what causes it. And so there's a vast amount of information on the internet, and to the point where we were almost overwhelmed. And so after reading and seeing videos of what children who have autism are like, I was almost guaranteed, immediately. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is Gabriel's showing these exact things at the exact ages. So I think he is autistic, And so the next morning, what ended up happening was I got ready for work. I get up at 5 in the morning. It's about 5:30, and I'm in my car, and I'm driving to work. And I remember just thinking about all that, all the information, all the just sadness kind of came back. And I remember just immediately I started crying, and I was just so sad. And I'm like, man, and I just things were going through my mind. Would our lives ever be normal? Will Gabe's life be normal? Will he ever do sports? There was even a few flashbacks where he had hit Mama just earlier, and I remember spanking him for it. No, buddy, we don't do that. And I just felt so guilty because I felt well, maybe he was trying to communicate something, and I just had this guilt. I had this sadness. I had this fear that our lives wouldn't be normal. And so that was on the way to work. I get to work. I toughen up. I kind of wipe the tears from my eyes. I go into work that day. As I'm going throughout the day, I just started to accept it. I started to be like, you know what? It's okay. My son has great health. He has 2 hands. He has 2 feet. He has 2 eyes. He's very, very expressive. He would look at you in the eyes. He smiled. He laughed like a normal child would. And so I don't know. I started asking myself, what are you getting so worked up about? And so I get back home and I told Mama, hey, listen, I was just a wreck earlier. During that time, I was really trying to cope and trying to figure out why this happened to us. And at that point in time, I just accepted it, and I said, all right, well, from here on out, I'm going to do whatever I can as a father to provide the best therapy, the best tools, toys, whatever I could as a father, because I knew at that moment I needed to step up and be there for my son. And so that's kind of what I did. And so Mom and I started this vlog. We started speech therapy. are starting ABA therapy, and so we're trying to give everything to Gabriel that we can provide. And so I felt more comfortable with the just knowing that this might be it. And we just, again, completely accepted it. So going to resources, because there were so many things out there, we tried to look for some of the best books, some of the best, YouTube videos. And one of the things I did stumble across was this book, and it's called Outsmarting Autism. This is a phenomenal book, and it is written by Lemer. She is a awesome author. The book basically talks about what could potentially cause autism, and just kind of things that we can do to potentially outsmart it. It can be overwhelming at times, but it is a phenomenal read. Even if you aren't a parent or a relative that has somebody with autism, you might just potentially know somebody, a neighbor or somebody at your school or church that is autistic. This is a great read to just kind of help understand, what they're going through, and kind of like the environmental reasons of why they may act the way they act and stuff. It just goes really deep into the air pollutant and water and electromagnetic fields, and just some really, really great stuff about their nutrition and staying hydrated. And it's just a really, really amazing book. Mama's actually reading a book about ABA therapy, so we're both trying to, again, just dive ourselves into reading as much as we can about it, and trying to really immerse into ourselves in this world for Gabriel and what's best for him. Also, because of the coronavirus, we're no longer seeing his speech therapist. We are doing a Skype session with his speech therapist, which is really cool. But she sent over a bunch of resources, which I can't thank her enough. And so we've been slowly implementing that with Gabriel, working on first words. And his ABA therapist sent over a bunch of stuff as well. We're actually going to start collecting data on Gabriel's behavior. So that's something that we're going to start doing. You'll probably see a few more videos of maybe him having some tantrums here and there, and just kind of how we get through it. And then Mama has been on top of Amazon, and we've just been getting all kinds of crafts and books and posters with letters, numbers, colors, shapes, and Gabe's been picking up on it so well. And so all in all, how I feel today is I'm very happy. Again, autism, I don't see it as a mental defect. I don't feel like our lives are any different, honestly. Once in a while, once in a blue moon, I'll be completely honest, I'll see a family member or somebody who has Gabriel, kids age, their kids are around the same age as Gabriel, and they'll be talking or saying this and that, and like reacting and singing along and dancing to songs, and they're just speaking perfectly. And Gabriel's still considered nonverbal, even though he does speak words here and there. Once in a while I'm like, man. But then I look over at him and I see him smile and I see him laugh, and I'm like, it's okay. Like, again, he's completely healthy and he just does so much, and I'm just super blessed that we are in a situation where we can just be there for him and just show him love, and just make sure that he knows it's all going to be okay and that he's super, super, super loved. Anybody who's watching this video, I just want to thank you so much just for watching this and being along this journey with Mama, Gabe, and I, and soon baby girl, which is something we didn't get to say in the last video, but we are pregnant, and we just found out we're having a little girl, so we are figuring out names right now, and we're super excited to introduce yet another child to our family. So next video will be Mama and her perspective and kind of her take on everything, and I'll be sure to incorporate Gabriel a lot more into that, and we'll just see a lot more videos. We'll be posting all kinds of awesome crafts and things that we're doing with him this week and next week. So anyways, we love you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this video. I really hope that one day we can look back or just touch somebody's lives, and these videos can just really help somebody out in any situation. But you guys have a good one. And again, happy Autism Awareness Day.